Greetings and salutations. It's Sunday, June 23, and here is a picture of the fox that I saw this morning about 7:30 when I had just got up. And he was standing just to the right of the daylily bed. It's a very pleasant day. It rained yesterday. Today is very nice and a nice little breeze. And let's go for a walk around. These are the two trees that the tree whisperer will be cutting down. You can see the pink ribbons on the two of them, and the one in between. This much younger one has also died this year, so I'm getting to take that one down as well. Put the chimes up this weekend. And then looking at where the shells attach into the structure, there's 2 or 3 shells that are missing, and I found one on the ground this spring. I suspect that the others are in the ground, and we just didn't notice when they fell down, so I don't want to start walking around in there, so I'll have to wait till the fall so that I can search for the missing shells and put them back in. Let's walk to the front. So I cut the grass yesterday. I have a friend coming down today, so I thought I'd make it look somewhat reasonable in here. There are indeed native plants in this area in spite of the invasive oxeye daisies. But there are native plants in here. But what I've learned from looking at my notes from prior years is I need to really identify where I plant these native plants and then monitor them closely. What's happening is I put stuff in here, planted things in here, and then lose track as to where they are. And I can't water them and care for them, so it seems to me they just disappear. So let's walk to the front. This is the way the fox came this morning, about half an hour ago. Now, the fox would have trouble finding things. He was a bit scruffy looking, as you recall. And he may be having a bit of a problem in finding enough to eat. Now, down on the beach, there had been a lot of geese with goslings. Yeah, let's see if I can focus in on this duck. And the goslings are moving around the shore. Those would be interesting things. Those would make for very nice meals. Can't quite tell what these ducks are. There we go. What is running over my foot here? Oh, it's a chipmunk. There. Let's back up and move closer to the front now. So yesterday and the day before, the geese were down on the shore at this time in the morning. And there were at least 2 pairs. One pair had 2 goslings. The other pair had 5. And they were grazing through just these green shoots and sprouts and small plants on the shore. I'm hoping if the water stays low that these plants will establish. I'll come back to that in a minute. I'm going to focus out here. You'll see in a second what it is. You just have to keep it there until they resurface. So I've been watching the sunrise and sunset, and we're at the height of, this is the start of summer and the time when dawn and when the sun rises and the sun sets hasn't changed in almost a week now. Oh, good heavens, they're over here. I can zoom in a hurry now before they die again. They have dived. They have dived again. It's a pair of loons. Oh, there's one. Let's see if I can find it now. I have to back up. The issue I have is seeing in the lens here. There we go. I heard these loons calling, and it's loons on a rough piece of water such as Lake Winnipeg. It's quite unusual. Typically you hear them in still waters like this, as in the White Shelf. So it's quite unusual to hear them here, see them here, but that's quite a bonus. It's nice to hear their sounds, their calls. It's about just a bit after 8 o'clock. It's quite shallow there, isn't it? He's walking, not swimming. It's just after 8. It's very peaceful. Everybody's still asleep. Or if they are up like me, where they're just taking their time and enjoying this nice summer morning. Let's go this way and I can show you what I worked on yesterday. I have a thought process here, a dilemma. There's dead branches here. And it does make it look somewhat ratty when that occurs, when things die like that. Do I cut them out and make it wonderful and neat? Or do I leave them? If I leave them, the structure of the dead branches helps to slow down the wind and the snow in winter, which helps to preserve the brush. If I cut them down, the wind and snow just rips through here, and slowly there's less and less brush when that occurs. think I've made my own argument and I should not cut it down. Now this, see it here, doesn't come out very well. There's an evergreen here, a balsam, and I don't like balsams. Balsams inhibit undergrowth. And I've let this thing sit here for probably 20 years, and you can see how slowly it grows. And every year I threaten to cut it down, and so far that hasn't occurred. Once again, don't particularly like all the grass. It's 4 feet high here, but it helps just to keep things green. I don't want to start making this into a wonderful lawn. Hummingbird is around. So we have quite a few birds. They tend to be in this western side of the property just because there's more brush on this side. It's a little bit less developed. Now let me show you what I did yesterday. The challenge has always been when you're on this side of the cottage, particularly for coming down the hill from the car, is to get to the tool shed. So I finally started to look on the path to the back. I moved to the rocks that were here, or that were blocking this way. And I have now started to work on the path. So now one can come this way off the bottom step and head towards the tool shed. I've managed to roll some rocks. I'll just come down here. This is one. Oh no. This is one I moved. It used to be right here on this chipper shredder. And I also moved this one. And this one. And they were indeed next to this. So now I can walk this way. I've got about over halfway. Needs more chipper shredder in here, which I have at the top of the hill. Now the challenge is I've decided this one. This rock is not moving. It's too big. And this one is not moving. It's too big. So it's a bit skinny through here. There's my foot. Another foot. And then the challenge is I need to move this one and that one. And that will be with Alain, my son-in-law, next weekend. And we'll move those somewhere out of here. Then I have to move also these oak logs. These are the ones that have been inoculated with shiitake mushroom spawn. Not that it's doing much at the moment. And once we're through there, and we'll have the clear path all the way through. Now up this way. Caragana, honestly. This used to be a major brush. I thought I'd killed it all. Here's the pieces I cut from it probably 3 years ago. But I'm going to have to have another whack at that. This is about the last major set of caragana in a major caragana that's in this property. I worked very hard to get rid of it. And here, between these stakes, one stake, over in that corner, if you look, is another one. There it is, right there, too. And in front of me, here, 3. And more or less where this pile is, I'm hoping in this whole area is that one can dig down to build a new outhouse and a holding tank for an outhouse. Great topic for a nice nature walk on a Sunday. An outhouse is quite a value in a climate where it goes below freezing and there's no water in the winter. So, now that we walked upon our new path, once we remove those final 2 rocks, then we're now already here. So I have to clean this up here. There's some branches that need to go like this. Will go, probably the one below it. This will grow to open up this side. This will grow so I can get underneath it, because this is just a little bit too much. Down here, we have some strawberries, and we have some native plants as well. And it's always an interest to see if I can recall what they are. For example, these look very interesting. I don't know what it is, and hopefully in another 3 or 4 weeks we'll find out. In here, we do have giant hyssop. There are some coneflowers in here. This is the giant hyssop. It smells like licorice. Yes. There are some coneflowers, but at the moment I can't see them. Giant hyssop is the big success in this one. And there are also, if I really turn around here, I have to clean this out a bit more. Wow. See, we're getting some poplars in here. Or, these are chokecherries, I believe. But we also have wood lilies in here. Some there, some here. And these will stay and grow as long as the deer don't come through here. Let's go this way. I hear bees through here. Now, and this is one of these areas where I supposedly planted things. But what it is, I do not know. And I don't believe they've survived. See, this is purple prairie clover. And that is typically really, really... No, that's not purple prairie clover, that's just normal clover. So that doesn't look to have survived. So I need to be more rigorous with what gets planted. Let's go this way. to our neighbors on the east, and eventually through that line to our neighbors on the west. So this is a good example of my dead branch scenario. You cut it out. Oh, parts of it are so good, I think. So do you cut it out or leave it? Does it make it lusher? Does it make it worse? Does it look lusher? Or does the removal of that debris encourage more wind and therefore less growth? Over here, for example, where the chimes are, there are some dead branches here. Yes, I have to remove that. I have struggled to see all these dead branches around. So, that's the walk around today. It's always a pleasure to be out here. There's a few mosquitoes, and by few I mean a couple. You may have heard them in the microphone here. I'll have to see later on. Anyhow, that's all for today. And on a nice morning like today, greetings and salutations.